Hi, Sarah Nielsen here, LPC in my 20th year of practice, and I specialize in eating disorders, disordered eating, intuitive eating, and some other areas, but this is what's relevant to this. You may find this in Intuitive Eating Free Education on Facebook, Counseling with Sarah Nielsen on Facebook, Instagram, July Moon, or YouTube, Tales of a Psychotherapist. Today, I want to talk about recognize, reframe, and reset tactic. Okay, so let's get into it. Now, this tactic is not just for issues with eating, whether it be under eating, overeating, emotional eating. You could use this for lots of situations that may come up in your life. Distress, stress, a bad mood. You notice your body's tensing up, recognize it. But, let's stick to talking about in relation to food. And let's discuss whether that be overeating, undereating, emotional eating. It honestly doesn't matter. It applies to any of them. But let's say we are facing one of those times where we are having trouble with undereating or overeating, or emotional eating, as I said. So the first thing we need to do is recognize it, right? You cannot change what you don't recognize. We have to recognize it first, just like I gave the example of the tension in the body. We can't change the tension in the body unless we recognize it, because then that causes a host of other things, right? It can cause back pain, shoulder pain. It can flare our stress responses and different hormone signals, and the list goes on. So we have to begin by recognizing things. Stop and recognize, okay, I notice that I am wanting to restrict right now. Stop and recognize, I notice I'm wanting to overeat right now, or binge eat, or emotionally eat. Reframe and reset. Before we go to those with recognize, particularly the things I just mentioned, recognition is not just, I recognize I want to overeat. Let's also recognize why. Okay, and what the trigger is. What is the stressor? Triggers can be thoughts, and that is a big one. Don't overlook that. What's been going on that day, the day before, even the week before. It could be an anniversary date of something. Triggers are a lot more vast than we realize, because I think honestly a lot of people think about triggers and they think, well, nothing happened today. It doesn't have to happen today for it to be a trigger. So let's think about events, thoughts, sleep. Am I tired? Am I in pain? People, places, things. There's lots of different triggers. So with recognize, we need to pause and recognize what's happening, and we need to recognize why it's happening. And then we can move on to reframing. So reframing can be different capacities. Let's use that tension one. That may be the reframe may be to relax your shoulders. And then I would encourage you, or the jaw, that's a real common one. I would encourage you in about 15 seconds to check back in and do it again, because there's a good chance you're already tight again. It's muscle memory. Reframing may be reframing some thoughts about, let's say you're having a desire to restrict and you've recognized a trigger as stress. Okay, a reframe may be reframing the stressor, whatever that may be. It may be reassuring yourself. The reframe may be, let's say with restricting, I'm kind of thinking along the lines of like, my body has value and restricting it isn't exemplifying that. Does that make sense? Something like that. The reframe may be, okay, I recognize that I'm emotionally eating. Let's say I'm bored. And so the reframe may be, let me think about some other things that I can go do. You guys getting the idea? So recognize, reframe, and reset. A reset may be an affirmation. It may be just a different mindset. It may be an add-on to the reframe. Like, I recognize that I want to restrict. I recognize the trigger as stress. I'm reframing to, that's not going to hold the value of my body. And then maybe my reset is that I go engage in a snack or a small meal. Does that make sense? The reset could be, I need to go for a walk, some stress. The reset could be, let me do some meditation, some self-care. The reset can be a lot of different things. And so, you know, I like to give examples, but of course I can't cover every situation. So let's work on this week, recognize, reframe, and reset. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. If you have any topic ideas, drop them in the comments. Please like, follow, share, all those things, you know, we do on the social medias. I appreciate you being here. I'm trying to put out a video every Tuesday, so follow along.